Alright everybody, so today I have 3 Shulker box unloader designs for you. The reason I made these is because I went online and I didn't find any designs that suited my needs. The idea that I had was just to have something that is relatively compact and more importantly cheap and simple to build, so there are no observers or sticky pistons or anything like that needed. All 3 of these are built in basically the same way, the only difference between them is how they're shaped. So this first one is 2 blocks wide, so long as you don't count this hopper output on the side. It is 5 blocks tall, and it is 4 blocks deep. The second one is 4 blocks wide, 4 blocks tall, and 3 blocks deep. And this last one is 5 blocks wide, 4 blocks tall, and only 2 blocks deep. The last note I want to make before we go ahead and get started is that I have these all built in the same orientation, where the hopper on the left is the one that the items go into, and the hopper on the right is the one that the shulker box is going to. I did that for all of them, but if you want, you can totally mirror the design and it will still work. Now, because these designs are so simple, I'm not going to be doing block by block tutorials, but I will be going over each design closely so that you can see how it's put together. Starting with this first one, we have the hopper on top with the dispenser facing down, a piston on the side. We have 2 comparators coming out like this, going into a redstone dust. That goes into this block that has a torch on top and a torch on this front side. This torch on top goes over into this repeater, which goes into this redstone torch. That redstone torch should be next to this hopper and diagonally from the dispenser. Down here, this redstone torch should go into this redstone dust, which goes into this repeater. You want to place that repeater down and click on it twice to make a 3-tick repeater, and that should extend this piston. This hopper will be the one that the items go into, and this hopper will be the one that the shulker boxes go into. For the second design, we will want these hoppers down first. We'll need this dispenser facing sideways, a regular piston, and then these 2 comparators. For this comparator, you can either shift click it down, or you can just place it against the side of that block. These comparators will go into this redstone dust, which goes into this torch, goes into this repeater with a block, with a redstone dust, and a repeater again. This repeater you place down and click 1 time, that'll extend the piston. And then on this block you need a redstone torch, and a block above that. That block should be next to that hopper there. And that is the instructions for building this one. For the last one, we have a regular piston with a dispenser facing down. We've got that hopper on top and these 2 hoppers underneath. We do once again have that comparator on top of the hopper, so you can either shift click it onto the hopper or place it against the face of that block. Just make sure it's facing into this block. We'll also need a comparator on this block, a redstone dust going into this block here with these 2 torches on it. This torch goes up into a repeater, and then that block here has a torch on the side, which should be next to this hopper and diagonally from this dispenser. This torch down here should go into this repeater. You'll place that repeater down and click on it twice to make a 3-tick repeater with a redstone dust and a block that will extend that piston. And that is how you build the third one. Alright, I'd like to take a moment to discuss how these work, as well as do a quick demonstration. Now, like I said, these are all exactly the same. The only difference between them is that they are shaped differently. I'm going to go ahead and use this middle one to demonstrate because I think it shows it off the best. Got this barrel, I'll place it down, and we'll get some shulkers going. You can see that the shulkers come through this dispenser one at a time, and they get dispensed, and then the items get taken out, moved into this barrel, and then the shulkers get broken and moved into this one. Just like so. Now normally, this torch is on, and that means that this piston is extended and that this torch is off. Because the piston is extended, well, we'll get to that, but because this torch is off, the hopper is unlocked and items are allowed to move from whatever your input is into the dispenser. However, as soon as a shulker shows up, it will activate this comparator, because it's inside that dispenser, which will power this redstone dust and depower this torch. What that does is it retracts the piston because it's no longer powered, and it lets this torch power, which means that the hopper is locked, controlling the flow of shulkers, and it powers the dispenser, dispensing that shulker box that just showed up. Now, that means that this redstone comparator is no longer on, but we have another one. We have this comparator here, and that's reading whether there are items inside the shulker box. When there are items, it is on, it powers this redstone dust, just like this one did, and everything stays exactly where it is. The piston stays retracted, the hopper stays locked, and the dispenser stays powered, but that's not a big deal. However, once this shulker box is unloaded, this comparator turns off, this torch is allowed to turn back on, and because this torch is on, the signal goes through, it extends the piston, breaking the shulker box, and it also turns this torch off, which unlocks the hopper, allowing shulker boxes to flow again. Now, I hope this video has been helpful to you. I do have another bigger project in the works, so you might be interested in subscribing. There was a reason I needed a shulker box unloader, so that might give you a hint of what type of thing we're talking about. But otherwise, that's all I've got for you today, so I hope you have an excellent day and take care.